All right, let's talk about the rules for tackling a Shakespeare monologue. Rule number 1, if you aren't British yourself, do not use a British dialect. It's a common misconception that because Shakespeare was British, we all need to speak his words in a British dialect, but that is not true. And in fact, if you do it at a professional audition or a college audition, they will think you are nutso. Unless you're British, no British dialects. Promise. Number 2, always, always, always research any words you're not familiar with in the monologue. Just get out Google or the dictionary and look it up. There's no shame in that. Professional actors do that all the time. But make sure that you understand what any and every word in a monologue means. Don't go off saying something that you don't understand. If you don't understand it, you can't perform it. Period. Full stop. Rule number 3, the most important word is always at the end of the verse line. And I'm going to talk more about that in the script breakdown video that's after this one. Rule number 4, find and use the antithesis. Antithesis is the setting up of one idea against another. So one of the most famous examples of antithesis ever is to be or not to be. One idea, second idea. Shakespeare's mind thought antithetically. Everything was this or that. So throughout all of his characters' monologues, you can see them doing the exact same thing. And if you start to pay attention to the pattern, you'll be able to see it over and over and over again. Sometimes antitheses are short, to be, not to be. Very simple. Sometimes they're much longer, and they can stretch out over almost entire monologues. There are some monologues that is one half this, antithesis number 1, and the second half is antithesis part 2. They exist, so pay attention to them. Finally, number 5. This is the one that young actors frequently do not do because you think, I'll just sort of wake up one day and be able to do it. No. No professional athlete wakes up suddenly able to play their sport. No professional dancer wakes up suddenly magically able to do dance steps. No professional musician wakes up suddenly able to play that ridiculous guitar riff or whatever it is. You have to practice, and your practice is speaking the words. Not always when you are rehearsing a piece do you need to go full out. You know, if it's a monologue where my child was just kidnapped, every time that I rehearse it, I don't need to be like, give me back my child. You don't have to always go to the 100th power, but you do need to get the reps in of saying the words. And if you do that, you will find that you will start to own the language. It helps you with memorizing, it helps you with comprehension, and most importantly, it trains the muscles of the face to get familiar with the words and the sounds in them, which, by the way, is also going to help you in performing the monologue. The language is the key to unlocking the character, and that's also something I'm going to talk about in another video.